What's up, guys? This is Evan and Ali on the Young Folks Oscar Panel, where we're going to debate our picks for the 87th Academy Awards, which are going to be on Sunday, February 22nd, and we're going to be debating with other writers on a video conference call from pretty much all over the place. So, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the video. Yeah, so our first set of nominations that we're going to do for this episode, this is the sound episode, and we're going to start off with sound mixing. The nominees we have for it are American Sniper, Birdman, Interstellar, Unbroken, and Whiplash. Ali,
what's my pick?
What's your pick?
My pick is Whiplash, which kind of seems obvious to me out of the fellow nominations, just because it uses sound in such an obvious and abrasive way.
Yeah.
And you know, Whiplash deserves to get a win at least for the technical side as well as J.K. Simmons' acting. And I just think the way that they incorporated music and the live drumming and all of that was spectacular. I'm also not the best at the sound mixing.
I know, it's really hard to
technology, but
if you're not an audiophile, it's really hard to tell.
But I know, like, as just a viewer, that's what I gravitated towards. I thought the way that they used sound was really interesting.
Definitely. John, did you have a different pick, or do you agree?
No, I agree. I love the intensity of Whiplash, how dynamic it was. I wouldn't be upset though if Birdman won.
Yeah, why is that?
Because it was also dynamic, although it was mostly drum based.
Yes.
I mean, Whiplash was that also, but also a bit orchestral. I just loved how technical Birdman was too, how it integrated the music with everything going on around it.
Yeah, the thing is that people constantly talk about with Birdman how the continuous flow of the tracking shots, that's how it functioned because it just represented theater in that way, but sound is so important. Sound is one of those things is that when you're creating a film or anything, when it's not good, you notice it, but when it's not, it's the thing that goes completely unnoticed. And I think that the actual continuous flow in Birdman, a lot of the soundtrack had to do with it too. Interstellar, I don't know why this is nominated of all things, because
I understand. I understand it. Christopher Nolan, anything he makes is kind of a favorite of the Academies.
True,
which is so odd considering that a lot of the things he makes go against the grain of what the Academy usually likes.
Yeah, but through the movie, and I'll admit that the score is good. It reminded me of the last track on the Daft Punk album, Random Access. No, with the really intense organs, like this crazy buildup of organs, and it was almost like Hans Zimmer was telling the story himself, but the problem was that it was overpowering the dialogue so much.
It was a bit abrasive.
It was.
Throughout the entire film.
I thought the only kind of weird, nominations on was American Sniper and Unbroken, and it's just for the artillery.
Well, I'll tell you why though. Because I saw American Sniper, and one of the things I took away from it was, say what you will, because to me it felt like Call of Duty the movie in various sequences, and I felt like that they shouldn't have spent as much time in those scenes and more time with Chris Kyle at home. But in those sequences, when everybody's under fire, they made it so that you really know which shots are coming from his sniper, and I feel like that's kind of something to take away from the sound efforts on American Sniper. But for me, I would pick Whiplash too. That first 3 minutes of him just practicing, the first solid minute is just him just going at it, and it's intense. And that whole the whole finale of him in the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was insane. That was outrageous.
Incredible.
It's maybe the only actual edge of my seat moment I've had in film in 2014. I was literally oh my god.
That whole movie
was
so intense.
Captured by it.
It was so intense, it was almost verging on uncomfortable, but I loved it. I loved feeling that way.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to sound editing. Sound editing, we have also American Sniper, Birdman, Interstellar, Unbroken, and Hobbit Battle 3.
Yeah, I guess Hobbit has to get in there somehow, right?
We were talking about that earlier. It's just Peter Jackson pulled a George Lucas on this stuff. So
Hardcore.
Hardcore.
But what would your sound editing pick be?
Well, the thing is that because I'm not an audiophile, it's like I was thinking, I can't think of something that's so different, but out of these, I would have to give it to Birdman for the exact reason that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, Birdman would be my pick too, just because, I mean, it's already a shame that the cinematography and the editing of the actual film was snubbed.
Oh yeah.
Which is just kind of ridiculous because it was the editing that made it transcend other movies this year. But I do think the editing of the sound was amazing because, like you said, it's the drums. You know, the drums kind of persist through everything, and then like the layering of, like what I'm thinking of is that Shakespearean monologue that the homeless man is making in the
he's just like yelling. He's like, "Was that too much, man?"
Yeah,
he's trying.
It's like that over the score that was going on kind of made it this like oddly magical moment.
It's almost kind of like you're listening to New York as an environmental
track. I
track.
thought the way they captured the streets of New York while he was doing that one little walk of shame almost, I thought was
shame.
amazing.
I would call it glory. No, I wouldn't.
But John, do you have the similar feelings or?
Oh, exactly the same. I mean, since Whiplash wasn't nominated, I guess Birdman, you know.
Yeah.
I know, how weird.
It's very, very weird.
The Hobbit beat out Whiplash for sound editing.
Beats me. I think that they just don't, and they know as little what they're talking about as we do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Birdman takes both of them, or Interstellar, because usually one who wins the sound editing also wins the mixing.
Yeah.
Like usually every year.
Yeah, because like the Academy's like, oh, look at that.
I don't know what the difference is. Let's just give it both to the same people.
It's more like Christopher Nolan like really pimped out Interstellar as being the next great American sci-fi film. So I feel like maybe the Academy's gonna feel a little embarrassed for him too. So I mean, like, we should probably give him something.
Well, the thing is that he was so focused on the 35mm that it's weird that people are acknowledging the sound.
Exactly.
That's the weird thing about it. All right, so John, we're gonna wrap this up here, and we'll move along to the next category. So thanks for joining us on the Sound Adventures.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bueno. Power of the sun, sunny day. What do you guys think? Make sure you hit us up on Twitter with the hashtag TYF Oscar. And you can use that very same hashtag to tune in with us on Oscar night and debate your picks with us. And you can use our own Twitter handles at TYF Official. Mine is at EvGriff, 2Fs, 42. And Allie's is at AllisonAJ. And be sure to hit up our other guest writers on Twitter as well. We'll be back for more talking about the next nominations tomorrow. So until then, thanks for watching.